How's it going? Welcome to this trip with me from Hanover to oh Malmo Malmo. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's just a little trip I'm doing. Just to see what it's like. Uh, we are carrying chimney parts, and we're gonna hit the road right now. So let's see what happens. And we're out. So looks like it's gonna be a good trip. With that being said, I got some things I would like to talk about. One thing I'd like to talk about, sorry for the yawn, is what I do as a mall security guard and just some of the things that I've witnessed as a mall security guard that kind of gets on my nerves. First off, I'm going to say this. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm complaining in any means. I'm just telling you how I feel. Take it as that, please. With that being said, let's jump right in. So get out onto the expressway. We'll get discussing it and stuff like that. So please go ahead and watch these videos and enjoy it. Like I said, it's just, this is me venting. So please stay tuned and just watch it. And understand that I'm doing this because I like playing video games. I'm not doing this to come on here and rant all the time or anything like that. I'm just going to try to get my point across. With that point being that whether it makes people mad or not, I'm sorry if it makes you mad, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm not going to get foul language or anything. That's not how I am. I'd like to keep these videos as family friendly as possible due to not knowing who's watching them. But that being said, with not knowing who's watching it doesn't mean that I should not say how I feel. So I figure out where all these twists and turns are coming from, then I'll kind of be able to get started. I just don't want to get started and oops, go way over the speed limit. Kind of going to crowd him out just because he was kind of flying up here while I'm trying to come around the corner here. It's funny that I never start yawning until I start recording. Slammed down the brakes, but you should have been paying attention. With that being said, since we are on the expressway, just some things that I want to talk about. One of the biggest things I'd like to talk about and kind of get out there and express out is the fact that my job consists of a lot of people parking in fire lanes and people who think that just because they got a special sticker on their car, or it's raining or something like that, people want to use that as an excuse for parking in the fire lane. Well, let me put this out there as this. In the state, now this might differ between state and state. I don't know what it is in any other state. I know what it is here. And that is, in my state, it is illegal to park in the fire lane whether you have a handicap sticker or not. Now, people want to argue with you and say that, well, I have a handicap sticker, or all the handicap sticker states is that you can drop the handicapped person off in the fire lane, but you cannot put the car in park and sit there. Now, the biggest pet peeve I have with that is the people that think just because they have a handicap sticker, it makes them above the law. And that's not true. I don't care who you are. If you have a handicap sticker, that doesn't mean you have the right to park anywhere you want. Because if that's the case, I'm a volunteer fireman. I have lights on my truck. I'll just park anywhere I want to. It's not how it works. If you're picking somebody up or dropping someone off, it is perfectly okay, and security won't bother you as long as you're picking them up or dropping them off. But as soon as you sit there while that person goes into a store or into the bathroom or whatever, that's when security has to do their job. Now, that being said, understand that when a security guard comes up to the door and knocks on the window, that all he's trying to do is do his job. He is instructed that he is not to allow anybody, he or she is not allowed to let anybody sit in the fire lane. But it's their job to stop people from parking in the fire lane and sitting. As soon as your car, if your car's in a fire lane for more than 10 seconds, long enough for the person to get out of the car, shut the door, and walk away, any longer than that, you're sitting in the fire lane. It's against the law. And it is a ticket. Now, the other thing that gets on my nerves is when a security guard comes into a store, whether it be he or she just felt like coming in, or there's an actual problem, those who steal get loud. So when the security officer comes into the store and you start screaming, "Oh boy, they called security," the first person we're looking at instantly is the person getting loud, because the loud person generally is the person at fault. I don't like the idea of being called racist. I don't like being called a bigot or any other names like that when I'm just trying to do my job. My job tells me that I had to go check in and see why that person called. I need to go check in and see what's going on, because apparently this person's having a problem. Now, I will say this. For the stores that do have the problem, or for the stores that call about certain people, that's a problem too, because now you're telling other people that it's okay to call on just anybody, and it's not. But that's a story for a different video. Right now, the two main topics I want to get across is fire lanes and security walkthroughs. If a security guard is walking through a store you're in and you start getting irate, there's a problem. We're already alerted to the problem, because if you're not loud or anything like that, I don't know why I'm there. But the minute people get loud, then there becomes a problem. So, as we take this trip into the ferry here and jump across, it's quite a long trip. I really liked getting the Going East package and the Paris package, or whatever package that was, because it added more to the trip. So, I liked that idea. Makes the game a lot more fun now. I just wish American Truck Sim would have more to it than what it's got. But, back to what I was talking about. The biggest thing right now to talk about is fire lanes, because fire lanes seem to be a big problem everywhere. And that is being, fire lanes are not an obligation, or there's not an obligation to park in a fire lane. It's against the law due to the fact that you're blocking emergency personnel from being able to get to somebody, and it causes a problem. When you park in a fire lane, you're not only causing problems for you, you're causing problems for everybody. If you park outside of a store, let's just say a store, and somebody gets hurt and can't get out of that store, it's going to come back, it's going to look bad on you. It's going to look bad on you and everybody else too. We're actually going to rumble in here and get some fuel, because we need it. Almost down to a half tank. I don't like the idea that people park in the fire lane and then want to argue about it. The fire lane is not a place to park. So if you're at a mall and security asks you to move, just do the favor and move. It's so much easier that way. If the security guard is a little rough, understand that maybe they don't mean to be. I mean, security's job takes a lot of toll on them. There's a lot of things that go on during security's job that usually could cause an easy problem. How far before the ferry? Ugh. Oh, it's not that far. I thought it was further than that. Alright. How much drive time do we have? We got 5 hours left. So, I guess it helps if you put it in gear. Some security guards, I will say this, some security guards are really dickheads, and they don't need to be. Some security guards will jump on you for no reason, or if they see something that's wrong, instead of coming up and addressing the situation, they'll say something stupid like, why are you doing that instead of doing this, or our rules don't allow you to do that. Some people don't actually know that that's against the rules. So, with that being said, though, that goes to being, if you're going to be a security guard, you need to be as friendly as possible for the place you work. You don't know who you're going to come across or what you're going to go up against, and I get that. I do it myself sometimes where I don't know where I'm coming into. But I can promise you, whatever you're going against, not worth having an attitude about. And I myself, I have a wonderful job. I mean, will I be able to make a career out of that? Out of where I work? Probably not. But I might be able to change it. Because depending on what I do, I might be able to get into armed security. I could go anywhere with security. I do know that I do not want to be a police officer, though, so give you a little background about my reasoning for picking security. Back when I was first thinking of security guards were able to do so much more than they are now. The problem is we have a sue happy life. And a lot of people are sue happy. But back when when I first wanted to be a security guard, security officers were able to do stuff. It wasn't, well, you can't touch them. I swear I never have to yawn until I start recording. You can't touch them, or you can't move this person, or you can't do that, or now security isn't what it used to be. I'm gonna put it that way because I don't want to go too far into detail, because then I'm gonna get people thinking that, well, I could take on a security guard. No, you can't, because security can still put you in handcuffs. They can still arrest you or detain you until authorities get there. But that being said, no security guard wants to have to detain somebody. For multiple reasons, the biggest one being, in order for me to detain somebody, I have to have proof that you were doing something wrong. Well, if you're doing something wrong, I have proof that you're doing something wrong, but just like no security guard wants to have to confront you sitting in the fire lane. No security guard wants to have to confront the fact that there's possibly somebody breaking the law inside of a store. No police officer wants to deal with that either. Once you take into the thought that you're going to just break the law, it doesn't really matter what we want. You're going to do what you're going to do. So, I'm just trying to put out there that if a security guard says something, just understand he's doing his job. Tells you to get out of the fire lane. He's doing his job. Tells you to stop running on the sidewalk. He's doing his job. Tells you to stop skateboarding in the complex. He's just doing his job. It's not up for discussion. It's not, well, 2 days ago I was out this area and I was skateboarding and nobody said anything. Well, 2 days ago was 2 days ago. Rules state that you're not supposed to do that, then don't do it. You can question. Ask to see the code of conduct and where it says it, or the rules or whatever. But understand that if you're asked to stop, stop. It's against the law to be parking in the fire lane, and it's not up for an argument. Just move. If you do have a handicap sticker, it's really cool. They have these things called handicap parking spots. They're conveniently placed right at the front of the store. Just move. It's not that big of a deal. I don't like the idea of having to tell people, well, that's a fire lane and you can't park there, and then getting told, well, you don't know the law then. First of all, false statement. Second of all, how do I not know the law? If I'm asking you to move, obviously I know the law. But people don't see it that way. They see the big bad brute security guard coming up to their car window and knocking on the window and asking them to move. That's what they see. I don't like that. That's not cool. I don't want to have to be mean. I don't want to have to tell you to move. I figured, you know, you could figure that out on your own when you look and say, oh, there's a sign that says fire lane. Or a red curb, that means fire lane. Can't park there. But I could drop you off, which will make that easier for you. Just move. Get out of the fire lane. Don't worry about it. I mean, I don't know what all the hullabaloo is. I don't know why you want to argue with the fact that, well, I got a handicap sticker. Well, that's great. There's handicap parking spots for a reason. My other favorite one that people say is, well, find me a parking spot. No, you find you a parking spot. You're the one parked in the fire lane. I'm not parked in the fire lane. And if I ask you to move out of the fire lane, don't point out another car that's in the fire lane. I'm working on getting to that car, but at this point in time, I'm discussing you being in the wrong. Don't. Well, that car's in the fire lane. I know that car's in the fire lane, and as long as you're discussing which car's in the fire lane, I can't go talk to him. So it drives you nuts. It's cool that you want to point out the vehicles in the fire lane. I understand that. But let me do my job and get the cars out of the fire lane, and I don't have to worry about it that way. So, we're rumbling over here into the ferry. I think. Yep, we're gonna go this way. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Yep, that's where I want to go. Embark on the 5-hour trip. I think they should make it so we could either travel or not. You know? I think that'd be pretty cool. Oop, I shut the truck off. Not quite sure which side of the road. I guess I'm going to be on this side of the road, okay. That's good. Thinking this side of the road. Yep. Alright. Check that way, and we're off. So my home base on here is out of Osnabrück. And I haven't really played this one as much as I played American Truck Sim, just because I haven't. I don't really know why I haven't. Well, most of the reason is because I'm out of America. I'm based out of America. So American Truck Sim is kind of like my home. It's the United States. It's where I'm from. So I just wish they'd come out with more. So I'm going to continue to put those up. I don't want it to be too much of this. There'll be things that I talk about throughout doing videos that maybe I find a problem or need to talk about, but not all the time. Sometimes I'll come on here doing video and I'll have something funny to say or something good to say. It's just been a very stressful week, or month because we're coming into the busy season of shopping at the shopping centers, and I know from my experience that it's not all fun and games. But that being said, we're going to be ending the trip here shortly as we coast in to where we're going to be picking or dropping off, I guess I should say. And I need to be, it looks like in this lane, I don't know. Well, look at that, needed to be in this lane anyways. Well, oh, there's another one. So, he's loving roundabouts. You gotta love them. You learn to love them or you learn to hate them, either way. So, I'm going to go this way, and then this way, and then this way. There we go. Where are we dropping at here? Found it. And in we go. Stop. So I usually try to pick one of these two, just for simple facts of I like the challenge. So we're gonna go ahead and confirm this. Release the brake. And get back here as fast as possible. So they got vehicles going out of here. So as we come to the end of this video, hit the like button if you like the video, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna try to put out a video a week. If possible, I'll pump out a couple more. But again, I work many hours. And I do have a full-time job, so that's really what I'm trying to get at, is I have a full-time job. And I don't want to try to balance YouTube and a full-time job right now. Alright, hold on. Sorry, utmost concentration right there because I was almost hitting that trailer. So. Alright. Again, I'm back to utmost concentration just because I was almost hitting that trailer. Like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Try to put a video out every week. Might not happen all the time. If it does happen, I'm going to try to keep it consistent. So let's shoot for Mondays of every week. I'll try to have a new video out. We're just going to walk this across, or walk this over here for a minute, because it's not working out in my favor the way I wanted it to. So. Alright. And with that being said, the trip is over, so I thank you for joining me tonight. And we traveled a total of 444 kilometers. Took 12 hours and 2 minutes because of the ferry trip. Fuel consumed was 198.1 liters. Base reward for 444 kilometers was 10,008 euros. And we're well on our way to that level 8. So again, thank you for joining me tonight, and I much appreciate it if you watch the video. And understand I'm just letting out how I feel, in case you were wondering why it seemed like I was ranting. Didn't mean to make it sound that way, but hey, sometimes you gotta do that. And feel free to leave messages in the comments, and I'll comment away. And thank you, and enjoy your night.